I stand to support this motion and to say in supporting it that it is most unfortunate that in this day and age where people are planning to move to the planet Earth because of development, because of, development in all ramifications, we are still here killing ourselves, shedding human blood as if we are shedding the blood of mosquitoes. And we all know spiritually or religiously where a people, continue to shed human blood the way it happens in Nigeria, there is no way anything good will happen to such a people. And this tells us or informs us or goes a long way to give us the reasons, to provide reasons for which all efforts put in so many areas seem not to be working. So for crying out loud, let's have that God that we all claim to serve. We are a religious people, but by our conduct, we turn out to be highly ungodly. So what's the essence of religion if you are not godly? So let's be as godly, as religious as we have portrayed ourselves to be, and secure our society or our various communities, because without peace, there's virtually nothing reasonable or tangible that can be achieved. I saw support.
Madam Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It is, again, a very sad moment, very disappointing that we are losing life as a result of state of insecurity in Benue. In contributing to this all-important motion, I want to inform the Senate that the issue of security is very key. We cannot combine insecurity arising from human life with that of food insecurity. And I think the security apparatus should move very quickly to ensure safety of life of the people. The question here is not that we don't know where insecurity is or whom it affects or where. We do know. And the life of people very is priceless. We cannot quantify what a life worth. And I do hope that the security agency are not moving us to a situation described by Thomas Hobbes, that where the Leviathan sleep over the right of the people, particularly right to life, then of course we expect brutality and some nasty revolts against the Leviathan. So, Mr. Senate President, I want to support all this all-important motion to the extent that the Senate itself must move fast to protect life and property. And this is very, very important. Like I said, life is priceless. And I also think we should actually observe a minute silent prayer for the soul of people that were lost in this very unfortunate incident. I don't want to take much of your time about this because the motion is very clear and unambiguous. And I think my colleagues are all here to lend their voice into this all-important Save Life motion as moved by Senator Ndede. Thank you, Mr. Senate President.
Senator Wadada, you are their neighbor. Maybe you want to give.
Distinguished Senator Emmanuel Udende. Mr. President, it is with some level of sadness that I have to stand up like other colleagues to speak on the state of insecurity across the country. Mr. President, you will recall that only recently we praised our armed forces on the efforts that have been made so far to abate the recurring incidents of arms attack. Mr. President, it is convenient for us to sit here and talk about suspected armed herdsmen. And you want to recall that this is not the beginning, this is not the start of herdsmen in Nigeria. The new dimension that has been added to this situation is the fact that these herdsmen don't just come to rear their cattle. They just come, kill, maim, and go away. And what it means, therefore, Mr. President, is that there is more to it than mere herdsmen. It means that there are foreign elements that are involved in this matter. And where they come from, their identity, remains a mystery. I think that even as asymmetric as the situation looks like, a guerrilla war-like attacks, I think that more than using this kinetic method of force, we must identify deliberately the type of human beings that are perpetrating these acts across the country. Today we are talking about local government and various communities. But Mr. President, I want you to note that this thing is appearing to be occurring in most parts of the country. And so, while advocating for some proactive measures to prevent these acts, we must get to the roots of where these people are coming from. And they are raising the tar for constantly coming to kill people and going away. Until we address the root cause of these movements, Mr. President, we may continue to debate this issue of armed herdsmen attack without finding a solution. And so I want to sympathize with my brother who has had this unfortunate incident, but at the same time urge this Senate to go beyond mere attacking the incident and asking the armed forces to take actions and address the root cause of the problem of armed herdsmen attack. We're talking about, like I said, Logo today. In Benue State, the Agatu people are constantly under attack. The Apa people are constantly under attack. The Utukpo people are constantly under attack. And that is how it is virtually across the country. Mr. President, I think that we must do more than being aware of this situation and asking the armed forces to take proactive actions and go beyond that to say, let us find the root cause of these attacks. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Karimi. Thank you. Some of my colleagues will travel to Morocco. And in Morocco, we travel from Marrakesh to Casablanca by road, a distance of around 300 kilometers in a bus. All along, we were asking ourselves, we never saw people moving cattle about. Cattle were kept in ranches. But in Nigeria, we see cattle moving all over the country. The solution is in our hand. We have decided as a nation to play politics with the security of this nation. If we want to solve the problem, we can solve the problem. In Morocco, you don't find such thing. In many parts of the world, in Nigeria, in Egypt, you won't find such thing. But in Nigeria, we allow it. We are elected to serve our people, and we have to do the best for our country. If we want to find solution to this cattle, others, and the citizens of this country, we can solve the problem. we call a national conference, put an end unto it. But if we want to continue to play politics and waste Nigerian resources, we just sit down and do nothing about it. If we want to find solution, stop all this movement of cattle all over the country. Those living in the forest, they will not have any place to live. That is the solution. Thank you.
Their loyalty, their dedication, and their commitment to ensure that we eradicate insecurity in our country is commendable. However, it must not be about the armed forces alone. All of us has a role to play. We are all leaders in our different senatorial districts. We are all leaders in our communities. It is expected of us that should not be limited to carrying arms alone. It should also include us taking the responsibility of talking to our people in our different communities. The advocacy to ensure that we tell them the implication of what they are doing are also commensurate with those who have lost their lives. May Almighty God have mercy on their souls. But it is important that we must not limit it to us coming here all the time to come and become commensurating with the people. We must take action. And as such, it is not, like I said earlier, it should not be limited to the armed forces alone. All of us has a role to play. We should continue the advocacy. We should ensure that issues that need to be reported are reported. And of course, I want also to charge the newly established Ministry of Livestock Development to know that this is part. Trying as much as possible to ensure that through the communities we are able to identify and list out those who are identified elders in our communities. This is one thing that will help us a great deal. Definitely, if we are able to identify these people, we're able to establish this. Through them, we will know the aliens, those who are coming from outside of the country to perpetrate evil in this country. I pray that Almighty God will guide us to ensure that this, at a point in the history of this country, is put behind us. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Distinguished Senator Victor Omeh. In this matter of urgent public importance, we go straight into the prayers. Prayer 1, condemn in the strongest terms the killings and acts of violence in Ayilamo, Ayin, Uze, and other affected communities in Benue Northeast Senatorial District of Benue State. Those in support of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, direct the Chief of Defense Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director General of the Department of State Services to immediately deploy additional security personnel and resources to the affected areas to restore peace and order. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, call on the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide immediate relief materials and assistance to displaced persons in the affected communities. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4, urge all relevant stakeholders, including community leaders, traditional rulers, civil society organizations, to collaborate with security agencies in fostering dialogue, reconciliation, and peaceful coexistence in the affected areas. Those in support of prayer 4 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 5, urge the Director General of Budgets, DG Budget, the Ministry of Police Affairs, and the Nigerian Police Force to provide adequate funding in the 2025 appropriation budget to ensure the completion of the ongoing construction of mobile police force barracks at Ayilamo in local government area for additional security. Chairman Appropriation, you may wish to comment on prayer 5.
Point of order.
In the country to, as a matter of urgency, check the proliferation of small arms across the nation in order to reduce the incidence of killings and banditry across the entire country. Those in support of the additional prayer as proposed and seconded say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank distinguished Senator Odende and all our colleagues for their contributions to this matter of urgent national importance, and to say that we deeply sympathize with the communities affected and the families who have lost their dear ones, and will not be tired of showing our empathy in incidents of this nature. And therefore, I urge all my colleagues to rise to observe a minute silence in line with the prayers for those who have lost their lives. May we rise. May the souls of our fellow Nigerians who were gruesomely murdered in Ayilamo, Ain, Uze, Azenge, and other communities in local government area of Benue North East Senatorial District of Benue State rest in perfect peace.